Hello YouTube, Camodo Gaming here, playing some Revhead. Revhead is a car racing simulation game where apparently you can build your own cars, you can work on them, sell them, race them. It's kind of a weird mix. It gives me a vibe, a little bit of My Summer Car, maybe some Car Mechanic Simulator, and I really do think this might actually fit on the channel, so we're going to try this out today. Now, as far as the backstory is that your Uncle Charlie has invited you out to Australia where he's apparently bought a garage and he's building a racetrack out back and he wants to become known, so apparently you're the guy to call up and invite to another random country, I guess? I don't know. We're going to go ahead and try this out, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. I've already filled out the driver's license, and as you can see, there's some skills here. You've got mechanic, racer, and dealer. I'm assuming we will earn these skills, and mechanics probably maybe how good you are at building. Racers, obviously that one's pretty self-explanatory, and then dealer, I guess how well you are at selling cars. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into this. G'day mate, here you are. I'm glad you made it. Are you ready to get stuck in? I don't know what that means. But I've been through this first part of the game, just did the tutorial. It's really pretty basic. The tutorial does a good job, but it does do a lot of talking and it's really quick and it flashes up on the screen and disappears. So I kind of wish they would slow that down a little bit for somebody that might not understand what's going on. But yeah, well, I just bought this place with a garage and petrol station. I also own the land out back. I want to build race cars, so I knocked together a track out back, the servo for testing and for racing. People know it as the backyard. Sure, sounds great. Okay, I have a mate who wants to get his hands on a ripper of a Wella. I believe I'm saying that right. It's a low-end car, but a lot of fun. It's got a top-notch reputation. You want to give us a hand to chuck this one together? This is the tutorial. Now, I did notice something. You do make a little bit more money in the tutorial. You'll have like an extra 1,000. But I feel like let's just go in and jump in because I could probably do a better job at explaining and then trying to read through the tutorial itself. So let's say, thanks mate, but I'll build my own. And it's gonna probably pop, I think it pops something else up on the screen here. And it's trying to go through all this. You're an Aussie now, mate. You're gonna need a pair of thongs and a decent ride. Check out the local rag and find a car. Righto, I'm all over it right now. I don't know, it's thongs, is that what I'm thinking of, or is that something completely different? I really hope it is. Maybe one of my Australian viewers can explain that to me. Anyways, what we need to do here, we've got our garage here. I don't know if this thing is actually upgradable, but we're gonna accept cars. We're gonna go out, we're gonna buy some used cars. You can buy new cars. I'm assuming you'd want a new car maybe to actually race around in. Which I'll demonstrate the driving. That's the one complaint I have about the game right now is the handling model for the driving is kind of wonky. But I do love the repair aspect and the shop management aspect of it. So let's go ahead and open up our newspaper here and check out what's available. So as you can see here on the left, there's used cars. You can buy any of these that you can afford. And either they need to be repaired, fixed up, maybe you're just going to do a complete restoration, maybe put a new motor in it. Whatever you're going to do, you just kind of select from over here on the left side. Now on the right side, you've got car parts. There's actually 2 pages of this. You've got the suspension, brakes, wheel, gear, exhaust, any little extras. So yeah, we don't have much money right now, and I'm kind of curious, why does this game take place in 96? It's just kind of a random year. But yeah, let's see what cars we have. We have only 5,000, so we're going to need to find something cheap that we can't really invest much money into and try to turn it over and make some money here. So obviously we don't want something that's wrecked because that's going to be probably a money pit. We've got some Wellas over here. You've got one that would only give us $500 to work on. It's a rusty one. And then we've got an old one. Let's read about this. Hey, are you interested in my old Wella for sale? It's heavily used. That's a little concerning because you can't inspect the cars before you buy them. You can't get under the hood and see what might be wrong, what might be broken. And this is kind of where it's really interesting to me. It's kind of the risk you take. So let's go ahead and check out the Rusty real quick. Let's see, are you interested in my Rusty 77 Wella? It needs a fair bit of body work and a new coat of paint. He doesn't mention anything about how it's possibly running. So even though we only have $500 to work on this thing, I'm going to go ahead and take this car real quick and see what we can do with it. So what we need to do next, let's go out to the parking lot and let that load up. And obviously this parking lot, you can see there's spots here. This is where you can store your cars or maybe the cars that you're working on. Maybe you have almost like a pet project. I thought about maybe buying one of the higher end cars that's wrecked and maybe we'll just slowly put it together. But let's go ahead and work on this one. You can see its information here. This one's actually got a V6 in it. Value of it right now is worth close to 5,000, so its value right now is actually worth 200 more than I paid for it. So that's a little strange, but let's go ahead and pop in here. Oh boy, yes, the body does look to be in rough shape. So this is where the game gets kind of fun. Now this might not be for everybody, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna go in here and go into the repair screen. And the first thing I like to do, let's go ahead and wash it and see truly what it looks like under. So that's gonna cost us $5. Yep, it doesn't look much better. This thing looks pretty terrible. Wow, okay. So let's go ahead and check under the hood, make sure there's nothing major that needs to be attended to. Most likely, it seems like most cars need, oh, something's missing up there. If you see this little blue circle, something's missing on that part. That's concerning. We'll see what that is here in a second. I want to look at the motor real quick. And as you can see, it kind of breaks everything down in the car. You can select the parts, see what kind of condition they're in, see if they need to be repaired or if they need to be replaced. Obviously, I'm not going to sink too much money into this car. So these little things that can be repaired, say the exhaust is $22.50 to repair, we're not going to do that. We want to make sure it's running and it basically can get out the door. So let's look at the motor real quick and see what we've got. Looks like to fix the motor, I guess that's the block, it's $280, and we've got all the parts here. Looks like they're in pretty good shape. There's a couple new parts. The ignition's new on it. The spark plugs are pretty much new. So nothing really is kind of poking out to me here. The oil filter, we could change that. There's a generic one on here. That might add a little bit of value. So let's go ahead and remove the oil filter. We'll go buy one of those. I'm tempted to go ahead and repair it, but I think the rust on the body itself might be a little bit more valuable as far as going in there and repairing it and seeing how much that's going to cost. So we need an oil filter. So let's keep that in mind. We'll go check that here in a second. Let's see what's missing from the dash itself. A small instrument gauge is missing. Okay, we'll see if we can find one of those, but that might not be another part that we would need. It's not going to hurt its value, I don't think, a whole lot. So, let's go ahead and go back into our parts catalog. Obviously, we need an oil filter, so let's go ahead and grab that first. Now, they make oil and air filters, like, for the different cars, but they also make a generic one. I don't know if the generic one's just worth less, or I'm not really sure. Alright, so we're looking here. Here's a generic air filter. I didn't check the air filter on it, by the way. Well, we're going to go ahead and pick up one of those just in case. It's only $13. We need the oil filters. So, let's see. Oil. I've got different ones here. Okay, did I completely miss it? Or is there not one available right now? That would be a little concerning if there isn't one. Actually, duh, right there. Oh, that's a Wanja. Okay, never mind. That's a little concerning. I don't see an oil filter. We might be putting the other one back on. I think these parts do cycle out. I don't know how long it takes them to do that, and new ones appear, but let me do one more little sifting through this, but yeah, I don't see an oil filter for it, so we're gonna go ahead and probably stick the other one back on. There's not even a generic one available for it right now. Alright, since there wasn't an oil filter available in the parts catalog, let's go ahead and just throw the used one back on. That way there's one on there. Let's go ahead and check real quick. I don't know if there's any instrument dashes or any of the small instruments available. It's going to be under here in electronic. Let's see. Looking for small instrument gauge. I'm not seeing one of those either. I guess we're going to have to go with that one of those. They have a dashboard here, but let's see. It's a new condition, but this one doesn't include any of the gauges, so that would not work for us. So we're going to have to deal without that. Let's go ahead and check the air filter real quick. Air filter's in bad shape, so we did a good job by buying one of those. So let's go ahead and install the new one on. There we go. And that's good to go there. Okay, so that's about all the parts work we're gonna do on the car. Let's go ahead and check our basics. Let's go and check tire pressures. And this is where the game, it's a little strange. This feels like this could be like a one-click thing. But you can see the little gauge here, this is for the tire pressures. And you can up those up and get it up full. You can go to the oil. Obviously the oil probably needs to be changed, so you can either add oil or you can just completely change it, and that's 60 there. So let's do that. Water's fine, we've already washed it. Body work is fairly expensive on this one. Now my only concern, we're going to be able to repair the body work, but we will not be able to get the rust off of it. I think the body work's a little bit more important, so let's go ahead and do that. So body work's fixed. Obviously it's a little rusty, it's a rust bucket. Let's go ahead and charge the battery up real quick. So yeah, we're not going to be able to paint it because painting costs $390 and we don't have that. That's going to hurt a little bit on the value, but I still think we'll be able to turn this car over for a profit. So let's go ahead and go start the car up. Let's get off the painting screen. Nope, we're not going to be able to do any of that. So let's go ahead and start her up. A little start icon over here. Now, this is another one of those things where it's like, yeah, this probably could be done in one click. You can't actually hear this car. It's not a very loud car, but you need to check the timing on it. So you go to the little spark plug icon here, and you want this little gauge to be right in the middle. So you adjust it to where it's right in the middle, and that means the timing's right. I don't know why you can go far to the right or why you can go far to the left. It doesn't really make sense, but the timing is good to go on it. So she's probably good. We could take this out for a test drive, but I want to go ahead and get through this car and see if we can buy another one, maybe do some more work on it. All right, to sell this thing, we're gonna go up to this little icon up here in the top left, and we can sell this thing for $7,300. So we made a little over $2,000 in profit. I will take that. So let's go ahead and get that cash injection. There we go. So we've got our first car out the door. Now we can go ahead and look and see if there's anything else available that we want to get into. These wrecked cars really do concern me. There's quite a few of them here. I don't think they're good investments. That's going to take a lot to repair. That's one of those, if you have a bunch of disposable income, maybe you can go repair that. But I'm not going to do that right now. There's actually quite a few newer ones. You can see some of the race cars in here, drag cars. There's quite a few wrecked ones. That thing there looks silly. Okay, so let's go ahead. I guess we're going to get another rusty Wella. So let's go ahead and take that. That's going to be another $4,500. Now this was the one I believe that was available just earlier, and it had probably some wear issues. So let's go ahead and put this into the shop. This one is another V6. These also can be V4s, and I think you can put up to a I said V4, 4-cylinder, or and you can put up to I think a V8 in this car. So let's go ahead and select it and see what's wrong. And we're going to run over this real quick again, and then we'll probably take one of these out and drive it around to kind of show you what it looks like, because there is a full map out here. And yeah, the driving though, it's a little questionable, but I'll show you guys that. Let's go ahead and put this up on the lift and see if anything's missing or anything major is wrong. And you know what? Is this another one where the an instrument's missing? Yeah, it is. Well, obviously we can't fix that because there's none available right now, not unless the parts have changed out, which I don't think they have in the newspaper. So let's go ahead and look at that. Generic air filter, it's in fairly bad shape. Engine. This engine, it looks pretty close to the last one. I do think a lot of this is at random, but let's see. Carburetor's good. Everything's pretty decent, actually. There's nothing that's in terrible shape right now. Water pump's good. Thermostat's good. The ignition's new on it. Let's go ahead and fix the motor on this one. So that's $280 there. And do we want to, I guess we can look for an oil filter. I didn't see one. That's another part that was missing from the parts catalog, so we might have to leave that one in. This might be a quick turnover, so we've got that. That's fixed. Let's take her off the lift. Let's go ahead and do all the body work real quick. So let's wash her off real quick. There we go. Let's go straight into body work. That's $314. And let's go into paint work. So here you can paint your car. You can add different paint jobs onto it. So let's go with some channel colors here. Let's go with red. And what would Camodo Gaming like? I like flames. That looks a little ridiculous on a car like this, but we're going to go with it. And we'll go with the secondary color of, we can go with yellow flames. That looks kind of cool. So let's go with that. We're going to purchase that part there. Let's do our basic checks. Charge the battery. Water's full. Let's change the oil real quick. And let's go ahead and check our tire pressures. This one's probably good to go. Let's go ahead and fire up and check the timing on it. We could really tear it apart, maybe do some more things on the inside as far as parts, and go over in detail as far as the suspension, tires, and all that, but we're good there. You can hear it. It's squeaking a little bit. I don't know. Let's go ahead and try this thing out real quick and see how she handles. Alright, here's where the driving starts in. Now, I warn you, this is going to look probably pretty bad on my end, but let's go ahead, rev the motor up a little bit. Yeah, she's running. Yeah, you can hear it. It's squeaking a bit. Are those kangaroos? I think there's kangaroos across the street that are jumping around. So anyways, let's put it into first gear here and try testing this thing out. Whoa! It's saying with this V6 has got quite a bit of power on the back end. Let's go and take it up the road here. So yeah, I have not tried out the racing yet. I don't think we're going to get around to that this episode if we do more. And I saw some kangaroos across the street. I can't look over at them though. There we go. Let's go ahead and shift up. Second gear. So yeah, there's a full map here. I haven't checked out. He's got the backyard racetrack. Whoa, this thing's got a lot of power to the rear. Okay. I don't want to tear this thing up, but you can kind of get a feel for what the map somewhat looks like. Let's go ahead and turn it around. I want to kind of check that racetrack out, the backyard, the one that Uncle Charlie's obviously talking about. I don't know if he's crazy or what he's got going on back there, so let's get back up. Where's the road at? You know what? We're going to make our own road. We're just going to turn left here. Everything's kind of disappeared for me. Where are we at? Everything's so red here, so I actually think it's across the street. Wow, I almost got lost. I haven't even traveled like maybe an eighth of a mile, maybe. Oh, don't crash. I don't know if the car can sustain damage or not. I don't want to risk it though. We're dealing with something where we don't have a lot of money at the moment. So let's go ahead and pull this thing back over here. I think our garage is right around the corner. And let's go ahead and try to make it safe. Now we're gonna pull back into the garage. I'm gonna go show you guys the map real quick and give you guys a feel for what's all going on. To get back to the garage, you can obviously just pull right back in. I haven't seen any other traffic at the moment. I don't know if there's other traffic driving around. I would think that there is, but I could be wrong about that. So let's go ahead and pull back into the garage here. They got a little map here, and obviously you've got Charlie's garage, which is where we are. Seems like they're adding as this game gets older. I think we are in early access right now, but as they add stuff, you got the coming soon. The roads are closed here. Let's go ahead and go to the backyard, and this is where you can try to do some racing, time trials. Racing's locked right now in the challenge. I don't know if we have to do the time trials first and then go to it, but just wanted to show you guys that real quick. I'm not even going to attempt that because I still have to get used to the driving model. So obviously, this car is probably ready to go, so let's go ahead and pop this. This one's worth $9,100 now, so we invested. We started out with $4,500, invested, I think, a little over $2,000 into it, so that's a pretty decent profit margin. So let's go ahead and sell this bad boy off, and there we go. Give me that sweet cash injection. Almost $11,000 now, so we've made some money. Question is, can we flip another car real quick? Let's see what our options are. We've got another Wella. Those seem to be like the beginning vehicles. They're easy to turn over and make some money off of. I kind of want to try something else, but a lot of these are not in decent shape at all, or just too expensive. Obviously, we've got a wrecked one over here, but yeah, the wrecked, I haven't dealt with one of those yet. I want to have a little bit more income before I take one of those on. So we're probably going to be going with another Wella over here, another cheap one. This old girl never gives up. She still runs, but she's taken a fair bit of flogging over the years. Could be on her last legs, but someone knows their way around cars could give her a new breath of life. That's concerning for that price. What about the one down here? Is an old one. It's a heavily used one. It's about a little over $2,000 cheaper. You know, just for the sake of the video, let's go with the one that's possibly heavily used, $6,500. Let's go ahead and take this and pop in here. Now, I assume you probably could buy two of these. Say if you find a wrecked one, you could probably strip some parts off of it and use it on maybe newer vehicles. See, this is actually a 4-cylinder one too, so 82 horsepower. Let's go and select it and check out what we've got here. Cool, cool. Doesn't look too bad. Let's go ahead and give her a wash and see what it looks like under that. Nah, I think we're gonna be fine here. Let's do the important thing first. Let's check under the hood before we do body repairs and painting. Okay, well this is the first one that doesn't have anything missing on it, so that's a good sign. Now, here's the next important thing. Engine. Oil filter's broken. Okay, that's bad. Oil, that's worn out, so it's gonna need an oil change. Not much to fix the motor though, only 80, so this might be a quick flip. I need to find an oil filter. Hopefully they've cycled through some parts here, because that would be nice to have. So let's go ahead and exit that. Let's check our parts here. Do we have anything new? Slightly used, oil filters. This is a bad thing probably about choosing the same vehicle. You're kind of waiting. Actually, here's one. Yes, we've got one now. 40 bucks. Let's go and do that. Let's buy another generic air filter while we have that on the list. There we go. All right, let's go in here and change the oil filter out. Let's remove that. And let's put the newer one on. There we go. So we've got that. Let's check the air filters on this side. It's broken, so let's go and repair that. and put a new one there. We've got a couple that are worth some money here. I wonder if I can just get rid of those. So that's good to go. Engine's repaired fully. We can go ahead and do some inspecting. Repair the battery. Let's go and repair some of the little things on here. So let's repair the battery. That's in good shape. See the drive shaft. Ooh, that's actually a new drive shaft in there. That's good to go. Everything's new in the back here as far as the differential box. That's good. What about exhaust? $13.75 to fix that. This might be worth some money here, folks. Let's go ahead and check our, let's see, sway bar. That's good. Looks like the control arms, that one's good, that one's good. There's a lot of new parts for something that's supposedly worn out. A lot of this is actually in really good shape. Let's go and check tires. Tires appear to be new-ish. Yeah, they're in decent shape. Rims themselves, not too bad. I would like to clean those up. I don't know how we can do that. So we've got all that. Let's go and check. I'm assuming this is radiator. We can go ahead and fix that. Cool. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and drop this off the lift. This is going to be a really quick flip here, so this ought to be worth some money. So let's go through our basics again. Remember, tire pressure. Let's go ahead and change the oil on this one. This one needs a bit of water. We've already washed it. Body damage, there's none on it. And battery, cool. Oh, this is going to be worth some money. Let's go ahead and crank her up real quick. Oh, she did pop. So timing's way off on this one, so let's go ahead and adjust that. That's good to go. And let's go ahead and paint this thing. We'll definitely be able to afford that. I don't know if the paint has any, as far as difference, as far as how much you make. I don't know if there's a certain color that does better. I'm assuming as long as it's got a fresh coat of paint on it, they're fairly happy with that. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and put some stripes. You know what? Actually, I've got one. Let's go with the white one. Let's go. We got our stripes on there. And let's go with the, I like blue stripes on a white body. Like something like that. Why didn't you paint? There we go. Look at that. Let's go and paint that. Now this thing's ready to be flipped. Now let's see how much this thing's worth, because it looks to be in fairly good shape. 8,000. Maybe it's because the whole fact it's a 4-cylinder, possibly. But we still made money off this one. We're still gonna be, I think we still probably made about 3,000 actually, or close to 3,000 on this one. We didn't have to replace much. So let's flip that. There we go, we're up to 12,000 here. Okay, so didn't make as much as I wanted to on that one, but still, it's just all part of the game. You're constantly trying to flip cars. I'm assuming there's several different paths you can take, obviously. If you want to just be, I guess, a racer, you can do that. Or if you want to continuously flip cars. I do see quite a few possibilities with this game. Hopefully they continue to update it, and the only thing complaint-wise, like I said, is the whole fact that the handling is a little wonky to me. It's a little off. If they can improve upon that, I think we've got a winner here as far as a game. So I'm going to go ahead and buy another car real quick, take a peek at it, and we're going to wrap this episode up here. This is another, looks like 4 or SL4. Go and select that, put it in the shop. Do a quick little look, see if there's anything unique that we can do before we wrap this up here. Nope, appears to be all intact, so we're probably going to save this car here. Let's do a quick look at the body. Yep, body's got a little bit of repair that needs to be done. So this will be another quick flip here. And then hopefully we can buy something that's a little more expensive, maybe get into a wrecked vehicle or something like that. But anyways, folks, that's probably going to about wrap it up for this episode here today. If you enjoyed this game, let me know in the comments below if you want to see more of it. If you'd like to like and subscribe, everything helps my channel. I can picture this being something that we do play a bit more as this game gets updated and as we can maybe try to get some more sweet cars. So if you're interested in this, let me know in the comments below. But anyways, folks, hopefully you have a good day, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you.